Jessie Vargas, what's going on, man?
What's up, y'all? It's always a pleasure being on DONTAE'S Boxing Nation. Thank you for tuning in, everybody.
And the last thing, Jessie, I know you already said your managers are looking for the next step or the next opponent for you, but who do you personally want in the ring next?
Well, there's several fights. You know, it all has to do with the fans, with what the fans want to see. You know, so I appreciate all the feedback. You know, so all the fans, you know, let us know what fight you're interested in.
DONTAE'S Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So as you just heard, Jessie Vargas, he wants the fans to pick his next opponent. So I figured I'd give you guys the opportunity to participate in the process. As you guys already know by now, Jessie Vargas, who I believe is the WBO welterweight champion, he was supposed to be unifying the belts with the IBF welterweight champion, KELL BROOK. But KELL BROOK, he just took a hell of a detour, and now he's facing the middleweight champion of the world, Gennady Golovkin. So that leaves Jessie Vargas without an opponent. So we're going to do another episode of DBN Pose. I'm going to give you guys a list of fighters to choose from, and you guys are going to be able to vote right on the screen. Matter of fact, right now, all you have to do is touch on the screen. On the top right-hand corner, you'll see a little icon right there. Now, once you click on the icon, it'll give you a list of fighters to choose from. Now, once you make your vote, it'll give you guys the results. So with that out the way, let's get into it. Now, we already know the welterweight division is possibly the deepest division in boxing right now. Whole lot of killers in that division. And Jessie Vargas wants to fight one of them next. So the first welterweight I'll put on this list, since I know Jessie Vargas, this is one of the guys he's been asking to fight, at least fight again, is the guy he lost to, which is Tim Bradley.
You gotta get that DONTAE'S boxing.
That's what I'm saying. Now, Tim Bradley, he won the first fight pretty comfortably until he got hurt in the last seconds of the 12th round. It was a little bit of a controversial ending, but nevertheless, Tim Bradley, he won the fight. And Jessie Vargas, he wants to avenge that loss. So, first person on this list is Tim Bradley. Second person on the list, this would be a great fight. A lot of these are going to be great fights, but Danny Swift Garcia. Vargas versus Garcia, that would be a great fight. Danny Garcia, he's still undefeated. Jessie Vargas, one of the best welterweights in the division. On top of that, it would be another unification bout because Danny Garcia is one of the welterweight champions of the world as well. Now, the third choice, or at least the third fighter on this list, this man is very popular. I know that this would be a huge fight for Danny Garcia and a very competitive one. And that fighter is Adrian the Problem Broner, who's on his way back to welterweight. That would be another interesting fight. And just keep in mind, guys, if you're getting a little confused and you're saying to yourself, I thought Bob Arum doesn't work with Al Heyman anymore. Well, Bob Arum has had a change of heart, and Bob Arum and Al Heyman, they are actually working together now. In the near future, you guys are going to start seeing a lot more of Al Heyman fighters going up against top ranked fighters. All right, so Adrian the Problem Broner is the third option on the list. Moving on to the fourth option. Fourth option, since this fighter, he doesn't have an opponent right now, and he is another welterweight champion, Keith One-Time Thurman. Keith One-Time Thurman, who just came off of a very impressive win over Showtime Sean Porter. We know he's trying to get a Danny Garcia fight, but that may or may not happen. So since we most likely know Danny Garcia is not going to fight Keith Thurman next, Thurman is another option for Jessie Vargas. Last but not least, the fifth option, and that is the truth, Errol Spence. Now, you guys probably already know by now, but if you don't know, I'm going to go ahead and sum it up. Errol Spence is basically Kell Brook's mandatory. Now, they've put him in a second eliminator fight against Leonard Bundu. Once Errol Spence gets past Bundu, he becomes Kell Brook's mandatory. Now, there's a very good chance that Kell Brook will not be fighting the Truth Errol Spence. Since Errol Spence knocked out Chris Algieri, Kell Brook hasn't even really mentioned Errol Spence's name. I ain't even heard him say nothing that starts with an E since Errol Spence knocked out Algieri, okay? So with that being said, if he's not going to fight his mandatory, he's going to have to vacate. And if he vacates, then you have Jessie Vargas, who was supposed to be fighting Kell Brook, but Kell Brook pulled out of that fight. And you have Errol Spence. So that's a fight that definitely can come to fruition. And I think Jessie Vargas, I mean, you know, nothing is for sure, but I believe Jessie Vargas would be one of the rare fighters that's willing to get in the ring with Errol Spence. But we'll see. So those are your choices, guys. Go ahead and place your votes. And maybe in about a week, we'll talk about who you guys pick. That's all I got for now. I'm on to the next one.
Hi, you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo!